ready to go whenever they are welcome to. So we do have Adam Labutka on the right. He's playing Grixis control versus William Mellon on the left. He's playing Affinity. Yeah. We saw William in the quarterfinals on camera where he beat Brandon Leisure, who's playing Burn. And we saw Adam earlier in the day playing...
Round 6, did we see him?
I think it was round 6. He was playing against Brian Swanson, who was on Dredge. And that was maybe the best match of the day.
Exciting. I'm very excited for this match because William, first seed going into top 8, piloting that Affinity deck, pulled out a great win against Burn just in the last round. Clearly a very highly skilled player. Adam, also, from what I have seen from him, incredibly skilled, makes very deliberate and good decisions.
Yeah. William navigated Game 3 impeccably.
Yeah.
And I was very impressed to see, because it looked like Brandon was in the driver's seat, and William just was able to come back with those Galvanic Blasts and win.
Both players, I think, definitely top of the list as far as their ability to make decisions, to make good play calls.
And I have to say, for Adam, he's not local. He's from Maryland. He comes here for a lot of our weekend events. His conversion rate from the events that he's played in here to making top 8 or top 4 isn't 100%, but it's close.
Really close.
He almost makes the playoff rounds of every event he plays here. Not all of them, but a very large number of them.
He just comes in to clean up.
He just does come in to clean up. All right, so William's on the play because he was first seed, and we have Inkmoth Nexus into Springleaf Drum into Mem Knight, and then Adam's going to shock in Steam Vents and play Serum Visions. Call it. I say top, bottom.
Bottom.
Okay, we'll see who wins. I'm going to win. I'm going to crush you, Kurt.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I am. Top, bottom, woo! I called it. Take that.
So Affinity, a bit of a slow first hand, but by no means a bad first hand. If you can get a Springleaf Drum with a Memnite, or any other zero cost,
it's like you got.
And there is an Edge champion right off the bat.
Yeah. We are broadcasting out of Morgantown, West Virginia. We're in the Morgantown Mall, Four Horsemen Comics and Gaming. We have 2 other locations. One is in downtown in Waynesburg, Pennsylvania. The other's in the Meadowbrook Mall in Clarksburg, West Virginia. Yeah, Adam plays locally in Maryland at Arkham Games. He reps them regularly with an awesome playmat. Thank you, Green Lennon, for repping us in the chat. We appreciate it. So William's going to follow up with Etched Champion, which I got to imagine is a nightmare for Adam because he just cannot kill that thing.
Did he... So he does have a main board.
He has a split.
Does he have 1 and then 2 in the side?
I think Ryan has the deck list.
I think he does too. I don't remember off the top of my head.
We're going to send down Mr. Lucas Hendricks to grab the deck list for us. Thank you to him.
It might be 1 main and 2 side.
Yeah, so... And for Adam's turn, he just cast a Serum Vision, played a Sulphur Falls, and kicked it back.
There's a Signal Pest.
And then the attack... The dice need to come down just a little bit. But it looks like it was an attack for 3. Adam should be at 15, I believe. That looks correct.
Lucas might be able to grab those.
Yeah. But with the... Or no. With the Mem Knight, he should be...
Oh, he's going to bolt the Signal Pest. So Adam, very conservative and tight with his bolt use in the previous games that we've seen him. So he definitely understands the significance of the Signal Pest because he did not hesitate to bolt that thing right out of the game. Do you think anything has a decent shot of getting unbanned in Modern? Good question. You know, there's a lot of people in the unbanned Jace the Mind Sculptor camp. I don't know. How do you feel about that, Ryan? What do you think for unbans?
I honestly think that the discussion of we should unban Jace is more time than we should probably take while they're playing. So maybe we can bring that up a little later.
All right, so it looks like Adam just shocked himself down to 13.
Yeah. I got the life totals updated. So, William has 2 Etched Champions in the main and 2 in the side.
Oh, okay.
All right, so
2 Steel Overlords.
So here's
one gets Fatal Push.
Tassiger, Fatal Push the Steel Overseer. I've never seen a Steel Overseer get activated. They always die.
Well, yeah, because you can't let them live or you're in
You
trouble.
can't. You really can't. But it looks like William played 2 Steel Overseers in the last turn? Wow,
Yeah.
I might see my first Steel Overseer activation. I'm sure I have.
I mean,
Yeah.
Steel Overseer is just...
Nuts.
To be able to put a +1/+1 counter on all of your creatures
Including himself.
for 0 mana
Yeah.
is insane.
Yeah, and he looks just like the robot from Castle in the Sky. So you never know what other kind of magical shenanigans are going to happen. This guy's straight out of a Ghibli movie.
I think it's neat that the flavor of constructs and magic have sort of shifted towards being more robotic as opposed to in older sets where they're still kind of more, I don't know the right term for it, like gear, like pagan gear kind of.
So they were in the like older, like the Urza and Mishra.
Yeah.
During that lore, they looked kind of revolving around gears and more like machines.
Mm-hmm.
But then if you look like a duplicate from Modern, it looks like almost like a cyborg. We should probably okay, so there's a Steel Overseer activation.
You got it out.
Yep. And is that Hope of Girapur?
It looks like Hope of Girapur.
It is a Hope of Girapur. He plays a singleton of the legendary Thopter.
Wow, good for him. Hope of Girapur, love it. Gonna build my Thopter Commander deck one of these days.
Well, if he gets to activate Hope of Girapur, and then Adam doesn't get to cast non-creature spells for a whole turn, that could be pretty huge for him. All right, sorry guys, just getting really caught up in this match. I'm updating the life totals.
Very exciting.
Super exciting. Okay, so we're in William's main phase 1. He's taking a look at the 2 cards in his hand, wondering if there's a way to... Okay.
Just got a Cryptic.
So it looks like he tried to move to combat, and Adam is going to say, I want a Cryptic. Probably draw a card, tap down your team. So William's going to activate Steel Overseer in response, growing the army massively. And he's going to Galvanic Blast here.
Does Steel Overseer pump itself? I thought it
Yeah,
said
now it does. It puts it on all your artifact
man.
creatures. So that Galvanic Blast takes Adam down to
Super
2,
good.
I believe.
Takes him down to 2, yeah.
Yeah.
Puts
So
him in a pretty precarious spot because we know William has more Galvanic Blasts.
Mm-hmm. And he will not have enough mana to Snapcast or Cryptic, so unless he naturally has another Cryptic in his hand, or he can Thought Scour or Serum Visions to find a second Cryptic, he won't be able to repeat that play.
He's going to drop to 1
Yeah,
to
he's down
fetch.
to 1 here. Which means
Dancing
that
a dangerous game.
all of the Blink Moths that are in William's deck are now lethal as well.
It almost always wins the game, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think
And
we're
you
about to
see-
see that put into practice right now.
All right, so here's Island, Serum Visions digging for an answer to the board. Which I'm going to take a look at Adam's main board. Cryptic Command he wants to see. Colgan's Command is actually probably not good anymore. I think it might be Cryptic or Bust.
Yeah.
Because he has no main board Wraths. And still, like, Cryptic only gets him another turn.
Right, it doesn't save him from...
Because he can't use any 1 removal spell on the Etched Champion while but he found the Cryptic Command.
Wow.
Tap the team, draw a card. I'm guessing Steel Overseer activates in response, putting... Oh, man, these creatures have 3 counters on them. They're all huge threats.
Right.
So do you think that with the Steel Overseer ability on the stack, he should be, like, having the Inkmoth Nexus activate itself so it's getting all these counters, too? I know that's deep.
Maybe.
That's super deep, but it's something he could be doing.
I don't think it's necessary.
I would just do it because it's technically
it doesn't hurt him at all to do it. There's no drawback to do it.
Yeah, and it is like if maybe Adam does have a damnation or something, he blows up the board, and then you get to keep this Inkmoth Nexus with a bunch of counters on it.
I think he does run a 1 of in the sideboard. I don't know if he has a main
he has nothing.
damnation.
The only thing he has to dig for here are Cryptic Commands to not die. I think, and he's already played. He has 4. He has 4 though.
Played 2.
Plus he has 4 Snapcaster Mages, so he has
But he doesn't have enough yet still to Snapcaster.
And he also has to mount an offensive at some point as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's only... That's the thing. He's going to run out of Cryptics eventually, and William can just keep sitting there, keep using Steel Overseer.
Yeah, any attack step he gets is a win. And Adam's just kind of looking over it. So he has to naturally have another Cryptic command because he tapped that island to play the Thought Scour. He can't Snapcaster Cryptic. So unless he has a Cryptic in his hand, I think we might be heading to game 2. He might be seeing if there's...
Looks like he's got a Snapcaster, a Terminate, maybe another Bolt. It's hard to see. And an Ancestral Vision.
There's no number of removal spells that can get him out of this because of that Edge Champion. All right, so here's Tasker.
And now he's going...
He blocks. Okay, he's going to scoop it up. William Mellon is taking game 1 in this match over Adam Labutka. Affinity over Grixis control. I was got to say, that was... Adam got a little dominated there, but it was still... Affinity is just... It's fun to watch on camera. But I know that Adam has a lot of play in his sideboard. Can you go over his sideboard for us, please, Mr. Nye?
Yeah, do we have to run these down so they can take a look at it?
Yes, actually we do.
So why don't we do that first, and then we will play our speculation game when we get those
back. We know that Adam had, from his match against Mr. Swanson, we know that he has Anger of the Gods, Damnation, Engineered Explosives.
I mean, he has enough in the sideboard to handle Dredge, which means, in theory, he has enough to handle something like Affinity that plays a lot of creatures like Dredge. The question is he fast enough?
Sleepy Leaf, I know that Inkmoth Nexus has... in fact, I'm just saying that being all things tight and correct, technically it's better to have the Inkmoth Nexus with the +1/+1 counters than to have it without them. Obviously, not going to be relevant 9 times out of 10. Just speaking about fun things to do on the stack. Sorry, Kurt, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're good.
37 relevant sideboard cards.
Free Bloodbraid.
Now that is one that I say yes to.
I mean, Jund is already one of the best decks. Does it really need to get Bloodbraid back?
I think that Jace... If you're going to unban Jace, you should probably unban Bloodbraid with it, because you're giving Jund a huge
way to get rid of Jace.
Well, but you're giving Jund a huge tool, but you're also giving the Grixis and the Jeskai decks a huge tool to kind of stem the tide there.
And then what happens to all the other decks?
We'll screw those combo decks. We just want to see fair decks
all the other
bouncing
decks,
off each other all day long.
All the other decks get flushed right down the toilet when that happens.
So the issue, I think, with Jace is that he's an expensive card, and if they unban him and a bunch of people buy it, and then it turns out it's really good and needs to be banned, they can't really ban it because everybody spent so much money on their Jaces. They're going to be pissed if it gets banned. It's really difficult.
Well, I mean, it's already happened once, so... People will get mad, but have you known anybody to quit playing Magic altogether over a ban?
No, I haven't. I've known people to quit formats over bans, but not the game altogether.
So we're gonna need to get those sideboard sheets back.
Yeah, I know. Thanks, Lisa. Yeah, they are only allowed to consult them in between games, not during the games. That would make the games just take a tad longer.
Yeah, they'd be stopping every card draw to consult.
Yeah, and if you had that information,
I would.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? Yeah. If you're trying to win, use every tool you have to your advantage.
Yeah. Especially with such a big prize on the line.
Yeah, I know. So we're into the semifinals. First place is going to receive either 4 booster boxes or $400 in-store credit. And second place is 2 boxes or $200 in-store credit. Third and fourth place will get either a box each or $100 in-store credit. So among the top 4, we have $800 worth of prizes that they're playing for. So yeah, there's a lot on the line. The matches aren't timed. We do ask our players to play at an appropriate pace, but they do get a little more time to think about their plays than they would normally in the Swiss rounds.
So it looks like our blessed helper Lucas is going to be bringing us these back.
Yep, and maybe we'll go over the sideboards quickly before our players start the match. Thank you, Mr.
sir.
Hendricks. All right, will you please read off the Grixis?
Do you want Affinity or you want?
I'll take Affinity. You go ahead and read off the Grixis for
All right,
us.
so for Grixis, we got Anger of the Gods definitely coming in. Ceremonious Rejection probably also.
Oh yeah, that's definitely yeah.
2 Collective Brutalities probably not. Damnation should definitely come in. Dispel I don't think is useful at all. An Engineered Explosives, which is good.
It's a board wipe, yeah. Collective Brutality is a board wipe. Collective Brutality is a removal spell, but it's certainly not the best removal spell you have. But maybe you might need it just because you want all of them.
Right. 3 Fulminator Mages, which could be interesting. He could blow up an Ink Moth.
On the Blink Moth.
Yeah, or Blink Moth. The Izzet Static Caster that I love so much could
Izzet Static Caster might be Adam's best card.
I mean,
in this matchup.
he can hit a lot of things.
Kills almost everything.
Kalidas isn't really good here. Negate isn't really needed either. 2 Surgical Extractions. I mean, you know how I feel about Surgical Extraction. It could be in any deck.
Yeah.
It'll always be.
I don't think you boarded in against Affinity, though.
Yeah.
All right, so
there's better choices for sure.
Adam's on the play. He's going to play Mountain and Pass. William's going to follow up with Blink Moth Nexus into Memnite and Vault Scourge. Kicks it back to Adam. Adam gets to play Sofa Fall, so turn 2 and he's done no damage to himself, which is a good start.
Yeah.
And he's playing Serum Visions. He bottoms.
It looked like he had Damnation in hand, too.
That's good. He needs 2 more. Yeah, he does have Damnation. He does need 2 more black sources, but he may be digging for more lands, which is why he bottomed both of those cards. He does have Lightning Bolt up to take care of that Vault Scourge if he so chooses.
So what do you think Affinity sideboard's in here?
So from Affinity, we have 2 Thoughtseizes, 2 Grafdigger's Cage, 2 Etched Champions, and a bunch of singletons in Girapur, Aether Grid, Ancient Grudge, Wear Tear, Dismember, Whip Flare, Spellskite, Bitter Blossom, Scrap Heap, Scrounger, Blood Moon. I think you bring in the Etched Champions and potentially the Blood Moon and maybe nothing else.
What about Grafdiggers?
Grafdigger's Cage does shut down Snapcaster Mage, but I think that's it. I'm not sure it's worth it. That's probably more just for the Collected Company decks and Dredge.
Oh, there's a Scrap Heap Scrounger.
Okay. So that is a new card out of Aether Revolt.
That is Exile.
Let's bring that one up.
From a graveyard.
I'm going to bring that one up because I'm not terribly familiar. Oh my god, I just typed in Aether Revolt. Aether Revolt is not a card, ladies and gentlemen.
Someday we'll let Ryan actually go home.
Someday Ryan will go home, but not this day. Alright.
What do we got here?
Scrap Heap Scrounger is 2 generic mana for a 3/2 artifact creature construct. He cannot block. He has the activated ability, a generic mana and a black, exile another creature from your graveyard. Return Scrap Heap Scrounger from the graveyard to the battlefield. So he's just he gets to bring him back, which is
within
good.
A limit. So
it's
there
good.
Is the anger. Well, so now it's not.
Nah, that's because it's gonna be exiled. But it's good against these Lightning Bolt decks that have the
You're gonna have to waste a few Lightning Bolts to take care of this.
Yes, you are. All right, so Adam is down to 15, getting the life totals updated for you guys.
So, I mean, Adam, I think, is looking pretty strong right now in this match, in this game. I think he's got the answers in his hand, and I think he'll be able to put up a good fight. But we saw this in the last round when Billy played Burn, and we thought, I mean, he was on the ropes.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, he's got 3 Etched Champions
in play,
4/4, and 2 Galvanic Blasts in hand, and he just put it away.
So with the Cranial Plating out, and he does have the Blink Moth Nexus to potentially attack with. So a couple more.
Adam's got another Lightning Bolt in hand.
Does he?
Yeah.
Okay. So it looks like Adam is cementing his place in this game. He's going to play a Tasker, so now he even has a clock to back up his disruption. This does give William an opportunity to equip the Cranial Plating and get some damage in.
Yeah.
Which...
It's a hit.
Here's Ravager. And if he can go ahead and attack equip, and he's going to swing for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here. And he can actually, with Ravager, he could... No, because that'll take away the buff from the cranial plating.
So he's going to drop to 9.
Yeah. Well, just like you said, like it looked like Adam was in a great position, and then he's just like, "Oops, here's a Ravager. Equip this cranial plating. Hit you for a bunch of damage."
Well, I mean, he can bolt the Ravager.
He can't. Adam's definitely not out of this.
Right. The Ravager's counter can't go anywhere.
Right.
He would have to sacrifice all of his artifacts to keep it alive.
Right.
So I think that's a good play here.
I think you probably just let the Ravager die, and you're just on the Blink Moth cranial plating plan. If you had a mana to activate the Blink Moth, you could move the counter
he's
over.
Just gonna Kolaghan's
so
command.
2 damage to Arcbound Ravager, shatter the cranial plating. So that's so he's gonna sack that.
So he's all in on the Ravager here.
Okay, so the Ravager will live through that because William was able to sack 2 artifacts to put 2 more counters on the Ravager, which means that the 2 damage doesn't deal lethal. So Darksteel Citadel will activate the Blink Moth Nexus, and here we come in for
4.
For
so
4.
I'm to 5.
Yeah, and just, wow, this Affinity deck is super impressive.
Sack it. He might have Galvanic Blast, but he can't cast it.
Adam's at 4, yeah. He doesn't have red. Unless, does he have 2 cards in hand?
He has 1, it looks like.
Okay, because he could have went Mox Galvanic Blast, but...
Well, I think now Adam probably still has an answer for this Arcbound Ravager.
I would imagine.
At the very least, he can...
He has 2 bolts.
Right.
So he can double bolt it because the only thing that William could do to add counters is to activate both of his Nexi and then sack them, which will only put the Ravager at 6.
That might not be the best move, though. Right now...
I'm not advocating that because he has 2 lightning bolts, I'm just saying that's the only way he has to put counters on it.
But I think...
So here's an attack for 4.
Okay, alright.
William's down to 11.
He could have potentially left Tassiger back to block.
Right.
And then save the bolts for the Ink Moth and the Blink Moth.
To kill them, yeah.
To take
if we see a Master of Ethereum, another Cranial Plating, a Steel Overseer, like any of these payoff cards, like, ugh.
He might have counters in his hand for whatever is about to happen.
He has to have some sort of removal spell here for the Arcbound Ravager, because it's just lethal.
The Ink Moth, fires up the Blink Moth.
So he may kill the Ravager, and just the Ravager puts all its counters on the
Terminate.
All right,
He's got Snapcaster to block the Ravager, and I guess bolt the Ink Moth.
But then can he just move his counters over to one of the lands? But then he can bolt in response.
He doesn't have bolt in his graveyard though. He exiled it for Tassiger.
Yeah. So here, in response, bolt. Then you take 1, and then now Adam is taking 1 infect. Yeah. Okay. So he's at 4 with 1 infect. Interesting. Het 8117 says that not all Affinity players scare him, but the ones with a beat up and bent Ravagers do scare him because they've been played for 8 years. Because this deck has been an archetype since it was standard legal.
I mean, jeez.
So the people who've been playing it for literally almost a decade, that they are super dangerous with it. Here comes Adam in for 6.
I know that as far as sales numbers go, Mirrodin is like, I think, one of the most popular blocks in the history of Magic. I think it was a mistake. I think that whole block was a mistake.
Oh, that's widely accepted. Maybe not a mistake, but just should have been powered down significantly. And then it didn't help that it was followed up by Champions by Kamigawa block, which was super underpowered.
Yeah, oh my god.
But I don't know. That's a story for another day, kids.
Usually, I mean, you see... a lot of sets will yield, if not necessarily an entire archetype of deck from their card pool, but at least have some sort of significant contribution to an existing archetype.
Mirrodin created an entire archetype across
Right.
multiple formats.
Kamigawa didn't.
Alright, so Bolt on the Volt Scourge, he gets in there with Tassiger and Snapcaster Mage. Adam
scoops it up.
Adam
We're
has
gonna go
forced
to
it to a game 3.
Here
Yeah.
we go. This is
super
what we
exciting.
like. Yeah, Kamigawa didn't create any type of deck archetype and barely had any impact on any sort of lasting format. I think Knight of Soul's Betrayal is the only thing I ever see as a sideboard card.
There are a ton of Eternal played cards from, like, Sensei's Divining Top, Umezawa's Jite.
Okay, yeah.
Actually, a lot of them are banned in Modern. Those two
That's true.
particularly.
So they do have a few extremely powerful cards, but
Yeah.
they all got banned out.
It was honestly cards from Betrayers and Champions that were really strong. It's Saviors was the third set that really. Yeah, Kiki Jiki Mirror Breaker, one of my all-time favorite cards.
Oh yeah, I forget about Kiki Jiki too. All right, okay, so all right,
and Knight of Soul's Betrayal, like you said, and then isn't Goryo's Vengeance? And
You're
through,
right.
And through the
so
breach.
I have no idea what I'm talking about.
Gifts Ungiven.
Gifts Ungiven.
Well, no, it's there's 10 powerhouse cards, and then nothing else is played.
Okay.
Where if you look at like other blocks, if you looked at like the Mirrodin block, for example, or Ravnica block, or Lorwyn block, you'd probably see 30 plus Modern Legacy vintage played cards.
Pithing Needle. Okay.
Yeah, Pithing Needle. That's the one card from Saviors that, obviously is just wonderful.
So, I've been here for almost 12 hours, and my brain is mush, and that is my excuse for not knowing what I'm talking about.
We are in round 9 of coverage. Yes.
Yeah.
7 Swiss, 2 in the...
What a day it has been.
It really has.
Blazing Shoal.
Yeah.
Well, yep, okay.
Also, the green shoal gets played sometimes as well.
I am glad I have the chat to steer me in the right
Twitch
direction.
chat, you save us. You save us all the time. We can't tell you how much we appreciate you.
From saving me from my own ignorance.
Yeah.
All right. I am so excited for this game 3.
Yeah, I'm super excited here. So, as we saw, Adam is able to come back from a losing board state and win a game, but now Affinity is on the play where it's at its best.
Yep.
And the Snap Bolt deck is for sure at its weakest on the draw. So,
yeah.
And it looks like both players kept 7, which I'm super excited about. So here's Blinkmoth Nexus into Springleaf.
Springleaf. Do we see a Memnite? No, we see an
Ornithopter.
Oh, dude. Almost as good. About the same.
Well, here's Volt Scourge, which he can play paying 2 life at 18. So there's 4 cards on turn 1, which, casual 4 cards on turn 1
Not
is
the
pretty
craziest strong. Affinity star, but definitely
a good one.
Definitely still good.
I mean, Adam needs a lot. He needs 2 removal spells to answer William's turn 1 board. Okay, so Adam's taking a look at his hand. A lot of turn 1s we've seen out of Adam are just like Fetch an Island Serum Visions.
Yeah.
Which are maybe even Thought Scour here. But
or if he's sitting on a Bolt or a Fatal Push.
It looks like William has 2 Signal Pests in hand, which he can play both of these on this turn. I'm not sure what else he has. He doesn't have the most broken start, like you said, but it looks to be a strong one. All right, he's going to get in for 1, and both players will be at 19.
I'm just thinking, Mirrodin, especially with Scars with these Affinity decks, a lot of the cards in these Affinity decks were printed at common or uncommon and were extremely accessible. When it was in print.
Yeah.
Which I think, to me, is more proof of just how absurdly powerful the set was in general.
It is, yeah. Is William down to 1 card in hand because he just played?
It looks like it.
He just played a second Signal Pest.
He's on turn 2. He's got 7 cards on the battlefield in 1 hand, which means he's down to 1 card in hand.
Okay, and now he doesn't have a payoff card. He has a big board and he's got mana.
Yeah.
But he needs a payoff card like the Arcbound Ravager, the Cranial Plating,
Master of Ethereum,
Steel Overseer, any of these guys. He needs to put pressure on Adam.
His board is a loaded gun right now.
Because Adam isn't even going to cast a spell with turn 1. He's just going to fetch down to 17 to get a Water Grave tapped.
Yeah, and doesn't even leave himself mana for a Lightning Bolt. So he may have it in his hand. I can't really see.
He may not even have
hand.
a Lightning Bolt.
He has a Lightning Bolt in hand.
Okay.
I saw that.
Well, he probably has red mana
Can't
readily
really
available.
see what else he
No, he's
has.
at 16. I'm sorry, because from the damage from the last combat.
So there is a Fatal Push.
Yep, on the Signal Pest.
He's...
Do you hit the Signal Pest, or do you hit... Well, I guess if he has 2, they both get to attack, so
Yeah. I'd probably go for them first. Looks like he drew into a Steam Vents. No.
Is this Scalding Tarn? Yeah.
Yeah, and he has another one.
You said he has a Lightning Bolt? So,
I saw one Lightning Bolt.
So you probably hit the other Signal Pest, because I forgot about the Ornithopter, and with the
Right.
Signal Pest, the Ornithopter even has power.
The Signal Pests, I definitely think, are the top threat right now. Vault Scourge isn't too scary on its own.
Well, it is with...
Ornithopter's basically mana without Signal Pest, so...
The life gain could be super relevant. Like, if both those Signal Pests were in play and the Vault Scourge gets to hit for 3 and gain 3...
but that's why the Signal Pest...
That's why he's
needs to
killing
get
you.
first. Yeah.
That, and it means each other Signal Pest gets to attack, and the Ornithopter.
Yeah, it turns on his whole board.
Super turned on board. No innuendo there, please. Alright, so fetching probably before William goes to combat, I'm assuming.
13, did he? He's just going to grab probably a Steam Vents here.
I would imagine.
Yeah.
Because he wants
the bolt.
He wants the bolt, plus he wants triple blue for Cryptic Command.
No, just gets him out.
Get him out.
Does not want to lose the
He
life.
probably wants Steam Vents, but he just with the board as is and his life total, he probably just can't afford to get it. Yeah, it's super risky.
So, bolts the pest.
Yep.
And it looks like they were moving into combat.
Yeah. So this means that because he didn't get to declare attackers, the Ornithopter won't get +1/+0 from the battle cry. So Vault Scourge is going to come in. Adam's going to fall down to 14. William's going to go up to 20. And here's the second Ornithopter. And Master of Ethereum.
That's a good draw for him.
Yeah, so...
Somebody in the chat commented, classic trap hand for Affinity. Looks really good. It seems like had the potential maybe to fizzle out, but now that he's got the Master of Ethereum...
Yeah, I think he means...
but he got the cold.
I think he means because there initially was no payoff spell.
Right, exactly, yeah.
But he got the Master, but then he got to shock the Vault Scourge, shatter the Master of Ethereum,
Man,
and now
command's so good in this
It really is. And now William's just left with 2 Springleaf Drums and Ornithopters.
He's got Ornithopter lands basically.
He gets to tap.
He can jump with him, I guess.
Well, he can attack with the Blink Moth. Yeah. Or no, he can cast a Cranial Plating.
Okay, so all of a sudden Cranial Plating turns one of those Ornithopters into a pretty big threat.
Yeah, it does.
Still dies to Bolt or Fatal Push, and he's got a Bolt in hand again.
So currently the Ornithopter is a 5/1?
Yeah.
And if he...
No, 5/2.
5/2.
But I think he definitely waits until attacks and just bolts whatever one is coming at him with Cranial Plating.
Yeah.
So...
But if William does get a second black source, he can
do the
attach.
fast equip?
Yeah, do the attach.
He could. But looks like he goes in, so he's not going to be able...
Yep. Okay, so Bolt. Yep. And now we're probably going to see a re-equip. No, a second Cranial Plate get cast. Wow.
Woo!
But still, he needs like creatures. But this means
but
like
a Bolt still shuts it down. A Fatal Push still.
But this means with these in play, every Memnite, every Ornithopter, every random dork he draws is huge. A super threat.
He's got to find a way to either get rid of the Cranial Platings or just keep the board clear of creatures.
And Adam is going to fetch down to 13.
Bad guys win, everyone go home.
I think we have some Affinity and Grixis haters in the audience, which, they are...
Yeah.
These decks can be offensive at times.
I mean, it's hard to watch, like, the same couple of decks always dominate. It gets old after a while, but it's still exciting.
I don't think that really happens too much, because, in Modern we talk a lot about Jund and Burn, but here we are watching Grixis and Affinity.
Yeah.
And the other semifinals match was Sun and Moon and the Scapeshift deck.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, so we had no Jund players on the top 8. Here's Thought
Looks
Scour.
like he's going to Thought Scour. Probably hoping to draw into a Fatal Push here.
Yeah, so he's going to mill over
Didn't get it.
Spell
Looks like he
Snare
got
and
a
another Thought Scour.
Snapcaster.
That's good. I mean, he gets to snap back that
So-
bolt and kill that Ornithopter.
Yeah.
And then he has a clock.
It draws into another
So here's Island.
Okay.
He's getting lucky drawing these basics.
Well, he can Snapcast the Fatal Push now. So he
So
has that answer. Or he could Snapcast a Bolt, too.
Yeah.
Either one. I would probably go with the Fatal Push here so he can save
Actually,
the bolts to go to the
no, he
face
should
later.
have Snapcast the Colligan's command.
Oh, yeah.
2 damage to Ornithopter, shatter one of the cranial platings.
That's
There's Spire of Industry for William.
brutal.
And move to Equips. And it
Yep.
doesn't really matter when he does it here, just as long as it's before damage, because William has nothing in hand.
Right.
So there's no shenanigans.
Right, yeah, we're going to see, I think, a big Colligan's command here.
Yeah, so here's Snapcaster
There's
Mage.
Snapcaster.
Target Colligan's
Yep.
command, shatter a cranial plating, 2 damage to your Ornithopter.
Boom. That's
That-
one of the cranial platings.
That
gone.
play, I say, was huge, and if William didn't have another cranial plating in play, I'd say that might be the game there.
Yeah.
But he still has a cranial plating, which still
Yeah.
represents a lot of damage.
Well, Adam definitely just started ticking down his clock here now.
Shenanigans is a word.
Swinging in with a Snapcaster, putting the visions on suspend, so he's definitely starting his own clock now.
Yep. Now we've gone to Snapcaster beatdown mode, which is where Grixis wants to be.
Yeah.
So he just kicked it back to William.
And
Did William draw?
it doesn't look like it unless he's holding his card up in a real weird spot.
Is it face down on the table? No, I don't think so.
Oh,
Yeah, okay,
there
there
it
it
is.
is. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It's just hanging off the edge there
Yeah.
of the playmat. This is intense. Like,
Man, Williams in another tough spot, but he was in a really tough spot against Byrne before, but
what do you think he drew there that he didn't want to suit up and attack?
probably, Galvanic Blast?
Maybe.
That's the only one I feel
still,
like he'd
like-
want to hang on to.
But what about the equipping the blink? No, because if you activate
There's a Memnite.
Blink Moth, you don't have the mana to equip. So yeah.
Right.
All right. So here's Memnite, and Memnite can get equipped. Oh, but
And
there's
there is a
ceremonious rejection.
Ceremonious rejection.
I want to get a ceremonious rejection altered to have me at my senior prom. I'm kidding. I didn't go to my senior prom. I saw Spider-Man 3 instead. Boy, did I not think that was going to be the wrong call. All right, so here's Serum Vision
Well,
for
hey,
Adam.
Topher Grace's Venom, pretty great. Just kidding.
Okay, I didn't like Topher Grace as Venom, but I did like Topher Grace as Eddie Brock.
No, I don't still because Eddie Brock's supposed to be a huge meathead who
But
lifts and
I don't,
goes to
I don't
the
like
gym.
that. I thought it was better as I don't know.
It's difference of opinion.
No, but it made sense because the symbiote amplifies the natural strength and abilities of whoever it attaches to. So him being a huge meathead made it make sense that Venom would be physically more powerful than Spider-Man.
Missed one combat step with a Snapcaster Mage. William is down to 12. He's looking. He drew an artifact.
He did.
I'm not sure what it was. He may have just kicked it back.
Is he just afraid to play?
I don't.
Or what-
Well,
wonder
I mean,
what
he
he's
may.
waiting for.
He may not be drawing anything proactive,
Right.
which it seems strange because this deck is just proactive cards.
And now we got the Visions draw, which is huge. Always great to get a Visions draw.
Mm-hmm. And all the time, Adam is just filling up his graveyard with these Thought Scours, meaning that
Yeah.
every Snapcaster Mage he draws is going to be huge. He milled over another Colligan's command, so he has one in his graveyard for the next Snapcaster Mage. Plus, he has that creeping tar pit to fire up at some point.
And another, and this is
And for 2.
classic control. It certainly seems like he has this game locked down right now.
Etch Champion.
Edge Champion would definitely throw, a kink into the plans.
Here's Tasker to just kick that clock up, though.
Yeah.
So, didn't hit save. Okay, so right now William is at 10, and on the next attack, Adam could present 9. So if he has a lightning bolt in hand, William could be dead on board.
Yeah. And William might have Edge Champions, but he might be hesitant to cast it
But you're gonna die.
Into counters.
Yeah, but you can't play like that anymore.
Yeah.
You just have to cast your spells, because if you just keep letting Adam attack, you're just eventually going to go to 0. You have to cast what you have and hope for the best. Okay, so he has a red card. I bet he has at least one Galvanic Blast in hand. Here's Hope of Girapur. There's hope. Where there's hope, there's a Girapur. There's the city of Girapur. I'm sorry. This is the legendary Thopter we all need. Crash it into the planar bridge, Chandra!
It's not the Thopter we need, but it's the Thopter we deserve.
Okay, so here's Snapcaster Mage for Ceremonious Rejection.
Oh, feels so bad.
And that's lethal with the Creeping Tar Pit right there.
Oh boy. Yep.
So I believe this is Adam taking the match. William does have another 2 cards in hand, so... Unfortunately, he can't activate the Springleaf Drums because he's out of creatures, so he can't Galvanic Blast one of the Tar Pit or anything.
No, and this is why Grixis is the color of Nicol Bolas.
Oh no, but he can pay life, go down to 9 to activate the Spire of Industry to cast Galvanic Blast. He's targeting one of the creatures, but it's going to get mana leaked.
Yeah.
Okay. He shows him 2
He
edge.
did have the edge champions. See,
but he couldn't. He was missing the land.
Oh, are they 3?
They're 3 mana.
Oh well.
Yeah.
I'm dumb.
Okay, so that's Adam Labutka on Grixis Control taking the match 2-1 over William Mellon. Great play from Adam as always. I'm super impressed with William. We've watched him in the quarterfinals and the semifinals. He has navigated all these games to the best of abilities, kicking it back to the booth. He's given himself the best chance to win all of these games.
Definitely played very well.
Okay. We should have our final match ready. I would imagine the other players are waiting in the wings to sit down in the feature match area. I would think we're going to be back within 5 minutes with the finals. Don't turn that dial. We will be right back.